Coming up on the final day of the 3-day holiday weekend of May each year, the nation celebrates Memorial Day, an American holiday observed on the last Monday of May, honoring the men and women who died while serving in the United States military. This year, Memorial Day will take place Monday, May 31st. Now, Memorial Day was originally known as Decoration Day. It originated in the years following the Civil War and became an official federal holiday back in 1971. Many Americans observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries or memorials, holding family gatherings, and participating in parades. One man whose mission is to properly honor the fallen and educate the public of our nation's history each and every Memorial Day weekend by playing taps at hundreds, if not thousands, of grave sites at Fort Logan National Cemetery in Denver is my guest once again, Mark Stallins, for the National Honor Tour based out of Fort Logan. Mark, welcome back inside the barn. And let me first say thank you for your service to our great nation as a former Navy man. And God bless you, sir, for what you continue to do for families that ask you to play taps and what that means to families just like mine. Before we talk about what you do each Memorial Day weekend, though, tell me a little bit more about yourself and your military service. I kind of mentioned the Navy.
Well, good morning. And first of all, I need to apologize because I stood you up yesterday. Yesterday was a day where it was surreal. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you, like when my sister-in-law, my vice president, said, "Hey, Brian said you were supposed to be," I was like, "Oh my God, I missed." And then I had all of them. I used the wrong credit card for a transaction. It was that kind of a day. But I served in the Navy. I joined in 1987. Top Gun, the Blue Angels, those were my motivation. They motivated me to join. And then as I got into serving, especially when I got older, the reason that I served shifted fundamentally to I serve because I love my country, and I'm willing to give my life to preserve my country and my country's values. And that's how that started. I've been playing the horn since I was in the fourth grade. I was always the best horn player, no matter where it was I was at. Not bragging, it's just that's how it worked out. Being short with red hair and getting picked on in every other element, when you find something that you're dominant at, you kind of lean into it. So I did. Played a couple times in the Navy. Actually had a successful audition in 2002. It didn't go as well as I'd wanted it to. I never actually got to become a Navy musician. I have worked with big Navy there, ceremoniously making me an MU so that my rate reflects what we are, what we do. A lot of people do ask when I'm in uniform, "Are you really a musician?" And I kind of giggle at them because it's like I'm holding an instrument. What do you think? But I got out of the Navy. I retired in 2015. 28 years total time, and it's weird because I'm in my dress blues more now than I ever was when I was on actual active duty. So it's one of those things. Is like you look back and you go, I never really knew that was going to happen. But when God tells you to do something, I think we forget that part of understanding God is to just say, okay, I trust you, so I'm going to do what you tell me to do because I trust you. So, people call it faith. I call it trust. I think they're one and the same. We love what we do. Our board has changed. Our organization shifted. I think we did. I think we added a lot. We've got a really strong board now. We work really well together. We plan. We work out details, and when we have disagreements, it's not confrontational. It's really good. I'm very proud of the people that I have working with me. So
You bet.
yeah.
Now you started this Memorial Day weekend honoring your dad, if I'm not mistaken, 6 years ago, and you announced on Facebook that you're going to go to Fort Logan National Cemetery to do so. Tell me a little bit more about the backstory on how that all got started and how it grew into the National Honor Tour.
Oh, okay. So it's the day before Memorial Day. I picked that day because I had nothing better to do. And I just wanted to go honor my dad. It was the first year of my retirement, and I just I'm going to go play for my dad. I haven't done that in a long time. I kind of want to do it. So of course, social media, for all of its sins, actually has has some virtues, and the virtue was there are other people who have loved ones, and I don't know whether they expected me to perform for their loved ones, but they asked. And when I got to where I was at, I looked at this little list and I was like, sure. So I just said yes. Um, that turned a 20-minute visit with my pop into a 2.5 hour odyssey throughout the entire cemetery. Nobody expected us. Nobody knew we were there. And it was me, so when this all happened, it was just really rather unique. So we're nearing the end of the day. I'm tired. I'm sunburnt because I wasn't anticipating being like, I have a new policy. I have to put sunscreen on before I go to any cemetery because I never know how long I'm going to be there. And I'm bare skinned with red hair. You can't tell, but it is. So, I mean, I could take a beating in the sun like nobody's business. Anyway, um, my friend Renee Nellis, um, she she saw me looking for Danny Dietz's gravesite. Danny Dietz is one of the men who lost their lives during Operation Red Wings in June of, I believe, 2008, I think. Um, and I couldn't find him. You know, he's really hard to find. Well, once you know where he's at, he's easy because he is, and he's buried next to another hero, a guy named Daniel. Oh, what's his last name? Romero, who was actually the first Colorado casualty in the War of Terror. He was one of the horsemen that went down there, the Army Special Forces that went down and were eradicating the Taliban all the way back in 2011. So, Daniel Romero is they're buried side by side. I didn't know who he was for like 4 or 5 years because I only knew about Danny. Anyway, she took a picture of me looking for the headstone, and then she took a picture of me performing at the headstone. She posted it on a couple of news sites. It kind of took off, and we became friends from there. I reached out, tried to find her. We became friends from that point. And the next year, she called me up right around April 1st and asked if I was going to do that thing again. Are you going to do that thing at the cemetery? And I was like, and I don't know. It was like from year to year, and of course, I think my destiny hadn't yet actually become materialized. And it's one of those things you can only ignore God as long enough, and then he kind of smacks you upside the head. I think God had been telling me since 2015 that what I was supposed to be doing was with the instrument and not on some of the other things that I've been doing in my life. So I said, sure, man, let's go ahead and let's see if we can get names. Well, the original 13, and I think actually it was the 12, um, became 54 the next year. I mean, we grew like huge. And now I'm starting to freak out because it's like, well, 54 is not 13. What is it? Can I physically handle this thing? Um, and I did. And then the next year we got bigger, and the next year we got bigger. Last year, before the event, when you and I had spoke, we were at 218. Well, that number jumped from 218 to 248, literally in almost a day. Um, so we started at 248 last year. We finished with 301. I performed 200 individual performances of taps in one day. Um, my chops were a little sore, but I've gotten really good at focusing on air and not on this. This gets tired, and it doesn't matter what kind of air you have. When this gets tired, nothing else works. And I've gotten really good at just, hey, when you push air, you create airspeed. You can change the tone. You still have to use it, but it's minimizing that use. And that's why I can do it in the volumes I can do it. There's a lot of professional horn players that literally freak out because they're like, dude, I'd be gassed at 36. I'm like, I'm warming up at 36. That's just the nature of the beast. So this year we are up to 356 individuals. We have a 276 named roll call that always starts with General President George Washington. This year, the first 20 are all Revolutionary War um, veterans. Many of them nobody even know. Um, we stopped taking names this year on Monday morning, and that is because all week next week is pre-planning and pre-marking the headstones we're performing at, so that we can be more efficient and more effective. And this year is really different because on day 3, every performance is in front of a family. There will be a family in front of each headstone. Uh, we have gotten 32 individual families that we're doing, and then we'll finish with the national with the roll call. And the other thing that is really cool, I want to make sure people know, we have a second horn player now. He's a former Army. He's a comeback player. I've been working with him. He's got a professional teacher that's been working with him. Not me. I'm not a professional teacher. But we're excited because it's going to take pressure off me physically. And I have finally found a second horn. It's taken 5 years. It's taken actually 7 years to get someone who gets it, who understands what we're doing and has fallen in love with it and wants to be a part of it. So it's really exciting.
And what's his name?
His name is Hal Van Herky.
Okay.
Yep.
Once again, my guest is Mark Stallins of the National Honor Tour. And Mark travels all over the United States, not just at Fort Logan, and plays for military families and fallen heroes. But he never takes a day off because he truly loves what he does. And he brings people together to help them share the story of each one of our fallen heroes. Now, I also understand that you're going to be performing this year with a brand new horn. I've seen pictures. And as a fellow trumpet player, I want folks to know about it. And maybe we could even share some pictures of Jason's interview online so folks can see it as well. And they can see him on their Facebook page too. But it's a specially new custom designed horn. It even has custom designed finger button valve covers, which are interchangeable. But the bells, you have 2 bells for this new horn too as well, Mark. And it is just amazing.
So here's the tour of the instrument. So we're going to roll up, and I'm going to focus in on those finger buttons. The finger buttons spell honor, respect, and love in Norse runic symbols. So that's the Viking language, the Viking, the Viking alphabet. The bell that I have the horn sitting on is made out of red copper. It's a warm sound. That is what I use for all of my ceremonial work. The flag, if you look there, I'm going to give you a quick, that is a 48-star flag that my dad had since he was a kid, getting caught in a tornado in Kentucky. I apologize about the mess behind. This is the brass bell, is a yellow brass. And my trumpet is my other trumpet, which is now my daughter's trumpet, is a Benge made in 1976. One of the things when I decided that I was going to get this instrument, I wanted to duplicate the Benge sound because I believe that it's an iconic sound, and that bell does it. Between that bell and the lead pipes, so you see I got my lead mouthpiece. That's different. Those are 3 bottom caps, so I can lighten up the bottom of the instrument. That makes it even more bright in its sound. These are called gap inserts. And if you look right here, you can see that gap insert is on a second lead pipe. These are called chokes. These guys right here. These go on the back end of the bell. So you have 2 lead pipes that are interchangeable, 2 bells that are interchangeable. The mouthpieces are interchangeable. And he's got over 150 he's got over 150 inserts that he's got over 150 inserts. If I can get this thing to turn around, come on now, there we go. So he's got over 150 inserts that I have access to. One of the packages with the Muse is that I have an unlimited amount of gap inserts. Right now, everything is open on the horn. The reason that I want it open is because we're going to be performing taps, and we need the sound to be big. I don't want it tinny. I don't want it bright. I don't want it piercing. It needs to have a fat, large sound to it. I'm probably going to shift the insert again tonight to open it up just a little bit more. But the thing about the instrument is if it takes me 50% of my physical energy to get sound the way I want it out of any other horn in the world, it removes that 50% of effort. It is the most efficient horn on the planet. This guy is actually taking it and performed with a spectrometer to show its efficiency levels, which is just insane. I mean, the fact that he's looking at it scientifically is just amazing. We've already had some unfortunate adventures with it. We won't get into those because they're embarrassing. But I love the horn. I absolutely love the horn. It's a dream to play. It's extremely responsive. I'm still getting used to it, so it has a tendency to run away from me. I mean, it like when I'll push and it just freaks out. It's just like whoa, and then I go, okay, I know I got to throttle back because it doesn't want me to. It doesn't require a lot of push to get wonderful sound out of it. So
Can you share who the manufacturer of your new horn is?
yeah, his name is the company's name is Harrelson Trumpets. They're based in Denver, Colorado, off of Lowell and I-76. And Jason has been building horns for 25 years. Um, the wonderful thing about this instrument is it has a full year warranty. So if anything goes wrong on the instrument, he will fix it for free. He was telling me if we break the tubing, I got to build you a new horn, and that's because I have the horn under warranty. I mean, it was not cheap. It's the equivalent of 20 different horns, though. I mean, Harrelson he's a mad scientist. I mean, it's I love him and I detest him all at the same time because he's so creative. He gets these ideas in his head, and then he stops producing because he's creating. And I don't think he's ever had a balance between the two. Of course, my wife tells me last night, yeah, gee, I wonder who else was like that. She was looking at me because I was like that. I'm kind of all over the place. I have a million different interests. And she's like, it's only been 3 years that you've actually had something that you truly focused on. And she's right. I mean, she's right. It's been I like to have interest in everything. I like to be curious about all of it. What I've discovered is what I do actually feeds my curiosity. Playing for Medal of Honor recipients in 4 different states, it tends to increase your curiosity not only about those men and their sacrifice, but the states you're in, um, the things that you do. It's really unique, and we're the only people that have played for 13 Buffalo Soldiers, like headstone to headstone. There's 13 in Colorado, and I know this is a fact. I am the only one to have honored all 13 in Colorado. We're going to handle the rest of them in coming years. But I think I'm the only person to play for every Medal of Honor recipient in 4 states. That would be Colorado, Wyoming, Arizona, and Oklahoma. Um, we're looking at Pennsylvania for the two big events that we have got coming up. We'll do half of Pennsylvania this year, half of Pennsylvania next year. And we're going to go ahead and handle Hawaii this year on the 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. So pretty exciting stuff, man.
Yeah, it is. And I want to talk a little bit more about those upcoming events later on, but that's a beautiful horn. I'm glad you showed it and shared it. And I'll put some pictures up too for those that are on radio that won't be able to see your video, but it is a beautiful horn and Harrelson did a great job. And it's just so fortunate that they were located here in Colorado. That was one of the big things. And when I follow you on Facebook, so when I saw that you'd ordered a new horn and you were in that waiting period, and then it was delayed a little bit, it was like the old ketchup commercial. And I kept thinking that every time I saw your post. But anyway, once again, my guest is Mark Stallins from National Honor Tour. Let's get into this upcoming Memorial Day weekend when you start playing taps. And you already kind of shared with us how many names you guys stopped getting the numbers. So this year will be the most ever, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Invariably, if we have one number, you can almost always increase it by almost 40. Last year we had an increase 48 names, just people that want us to play for their loved ones.
Sure.
That's biggest concern I have for Hal because he is a comeback player. And you know, we don't say no. We don't. We haven't refused a performance in 7 years. So um, I'm concerned he's going to gas himself out, which is fine because that's why I'm there. I'm always going to be the primary. That's just how it's going to work out. But yeah, we're going to get. I'll get to the cemetery all 3 days. Well, yeah, all 3 days. I'll probably get to the cemetery right around 6:30 in the morning. I can expect day one, which is going to have the most performances. It's looking like 237. The good news about that is, barring anything unforeseen and disastrous, we'll be able to run basically from headstone to headstone to headstone. And the nice thing is, yeah, we've got these guys all in an order, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to play them in that order. I'm going to play them as I come to them because that increases the efficiency of the event. And of course, we know we're going to get stopped. We've been stopped every year from day one. We got stalked the second year by two elderly ladies, which was kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, we'll start every day. The first one, everything will, all of the initial stuff will be done on Facebook Live. My dad always gets the first performance of taps. We do the national anthem to kick the event off proper. We don't play the national anthem again throughout the event. The final performance of taps on Memorial Day will be an echo taps across the lake at the visitor center. So he will be on the far end of the lake. I will be on the near end of the lake at the parking lot. And we're going to play echo taps at each other, which is going to be spectacular. I mean, it's going to be special. I'm really excited to be doing that. And it's a proper send off. I mean, it's a proper way to close the event. But we're going to run until we get done. The policy is we don't miss them. If I have to spend an extra day to get the numbers and to get the performances, then I go back on Tuesday after Memorial Day and I finish the work. I don't foresee that being a problem. We've broken this thing down so that one day is in one section of the cemetery. I posted a picture of what the map looks like. And then the next day is a lighter day physically. But it's going to be probably more crazy because everything is more tight. The grave sites are closer together, which is almost a benefit. But you'll be hearing two horns. I mean, virtual call and answer all day long. And people are going to be like, what's going on? Well, we finally got the second player.
Sure.
And I know people are going to be like, but I want you to be there. I'm like, but he represents me. So it is me. I kind of think that people don't understand what physicality, emotionally, spiritually this takes on anybody who gets involved in it. Yeah, there's a lot of love, but this is a huge responsibility. I don't take it lightly in any way, shape, or form. I don't expect any of my people to take it lightly. And so when I say I trust him, I expect people who show up there to trust him. That's just the bottom line. And I can't please everybody. You can please some of the people some of the time, and none of the people some of the time. Well, I'm already prepared for those people to be a little disappointed. But I'm not changing that policy because the man stepped up and he's been busting his butt since January to physically get ready to do this. So I don't want to disrespect him. He ordered army uniforms. And so you're not looking at just a dude showing up. This guy is showing up by our standards, by our what we do, and he's representing. And I expect people to give the same respect to him that they give to me. Give the same love to him that you would give to me. I mean, there's going to be people that you're going to see a logo on a shirt because the handlers are going to be there. I have a taskmaster. She keeps me from talking too much.
I'm just going to go back to something you said about the numbers, and they've went up 40 or so with two horn players now. I anticipate 2022 is going to be probably double what you got now. I'm just going to say that right now. But you've got two horn players, one from the Navy yourself, and then one from the Army. Hey, yep. You need two more horn players to finish out, round out the deal, maybe even the Coast Guard. But I wanted to ask, how can folks follow your inspirational story online? I know I've talked about your Facebook page, both the National Honor Tour page and your personal page. But if they want to reach out to you and just share their love for what you do and your respect for what you do, and what this National Honor Tour is all about, what's the best way to do that, Mark?
Unfortunately, Facebook is the best way. I'm trying to work on all of the other social networks, especially the patriotic networks, Parlor. Uh, there's a couple of others out there. All you got to do is look them up. They're all based around free speech. They're all based around the true constitutionalist values. But I haven't been able to, unfortunately, because Facebook has been around. You're so damn familiar with it that you just it carries until we all get tired at the same time. It just carries the most weight. So that's the best way. Our website is nationalhonortour.org, and it is a secured site. It tells the story. I don't work on it very much. So, I am going to get better at that. I need to dedicate literally an hour out of my day on my website. I would love to get some volunteers to help me make it better, make it more streamlined, make it more efficient. Um, but that's one. Um, what else? Yeah, there it is, and it is cool. It has my old horn on the cover. That's going to be changing, of course. We're changing the logo. The unaccompanied veterans is important to us. We will be doing those. We actually got biographies now, which is cool. But the Facebook page is really good because that is the one. I'm very proud of the fact that when a person reaches out to us, we respond within, I mean, literally most times I respond within 5 minutes, which is very good. I mean, I know that that's rare. You see all of the event page that's pushed. I will get better with WhatsApp. I keep hearing that I need to. That's the rumor. I keep hearing that I need to. um, there's a horn in front of my dad. Um, uh, we will be getting better pictures of that. Um, it's just um, we have an Instagram page, but I'm not busy on it at all. Um, and I'm so busy all the time working and doing things around. Colorado Springs has become a second home to us. So it's in fact, I'm going on Saturday to a performance at Gate One in Fort Carson. So if anybody is in Colorado Springs that wants to come and kind of get a feel for what it is we're about, it's veterans helping veterans. It's Americans helping Americans, which I consider one and the same. Uh, we do talk politics, give fair warning. We all are very opinionated, give fair warning. You get a bunch of military people together, the language will get kind of dicey, giving fair warning. But you got a great group of people there. We all love each other. I became an honorary member of TRIA. That's the enlisted association. Um, I got that distinction 2 weekends ago. We've got a fundraising event that we're pushing for 5,000, but we know how tight times are. So even if you want to send me 50 cents, 50 cents is better than none.
Well, and you brought that up real quick. Let's get into the donation part of it. And we'll find out from you what's the best way to do that and how to do that. So as we mentioned earlier, Mark's got a couple of big events coming up. The 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. He'll be performing at the USS Arizona Superstructure and also joining a bugler for 100 Nights of Taps at Gettysburg, August 2nd this year. They're going to split the state of Pennsylvania up in half. So they'll do half this year, half in the second year. But it all comes down to donations because National Honor Tour is a nonprofit organization. And I'm going to throw a challenge out to all of our barn listeners. Any family out there that has someone that serves in the military or served in the military, whether at Fort Logan or not, I'm going to challenge you guys to make a donation in whatever amount you can afford. But my wife and I are going to donate $250 for right now. There may be more coming later on, Mark, but I want to help you in your $5,000 goal. But if folks want to do like we're doing, what's the best way to get this donation to you?
Go to Facebook and go to the National Honor Tour Facebook page and scroll down. You're going to run into it. It is the National Honor Tour Travel. I think that's what it's called. The other ways you can donate through our webpage. We've got a click button that has donation, and then hyperlinks to both Venmo and PayPal. Venmo is 100% transferred money from one person to another. PayPal has a slight surcharge, and that's fine. But those are the ways. We do checks because I know how to deposit. I'm still part of that world. And I want to say personally, from the bottom of my heart, thank you in advance, no matter what it is that you do. And I also want to offer anybody, if people are not buried at Fort Logan, we are taking names all the way until Monday morning. On Monday morning, I have to put a cap on that because Monday through Thursday literally is prep time physically at the cemetery, pre-marking sites so that we know where we're going. We know what we have. So we kind of have to stop because it starts getting too convoluted. However, throughout the year, if you have a family member that you want to have honored, all you have to do is request it. And whether you're there or not, we will go there. When we do go there, there's a video of the headstone. And now we've got a GoPro, so there'll be a video of the performance because I got smart and got a GoPro. I was trying to use the cheap versions of that, but their batteries just don't do that. Like, you do a warm up and you're already at one bar and you're like, well, that's not going to work. I'm not even going to get through the first performance, right? But we perform anywhere, anytime. We do funerals as well. We get called on all the time. I've played in funerals as far south as Corpus Christi, Texas. That was an unaccompanied veteran. I just finished two funerals this past week, one in Elizabeth, Colorado, one in Broomfield, and one in Castle Rock. So that was three last week that I did. Next week, I'm doing two at Fort Logan before the event. And it's kind of nice because I'm already going to be there pre-marking the gravesite. So it just allows me to incorporate that. But yes, if you have loved ones anywhere in the state that you want a gravesite performance, after Memorial Day weekend, all you need to do is send us the names, tell us what the cemetery is. We will come to them. We will honor them proper. People don't realize there are very few live performances at ceremonies. We are unicorns. We are different, and we are very rare. Everybody else, 90% are getting MP3 players. For the longest time, they were using CD players. The national cemeteries have the audios piped into the shelters. So when you get a live player, it's unique and it's special. And I offer this to anybody, and it, we don't take payment. I mean, we take donations. But what our mission is our mission, and we've never deviated from that mission. It's always about the individual that is no longer with us, and it's always about that service, and it's always about honoring that service proper. That's what we do. So,
You bet. Well, I hope folks take my challenge seriously. If you can help, please do so. We're going to make our donation today. But I know we've covered a lot, and I love visiting with you, not just about what you do with National Honor Tour, but also with the direction this nation seems to be headed. But anything else you wanted to make mention of before I let you go, Mark?
just I know everybody is scared. Um, and I understand on the state of the nation. We all need to stop being scared, and we need to start being proactive and engaged. Being scared is okay. Being brave is looking that fear in the face and saying, you know what, I'm going to move forward anyway. As a military member, as a former military member, I have always told people I may be retired, but don't think for 2 seconds that my oath of service ever expired. I, to this day, and I have had this conversation with my family, if things go so far south that we end up in open hostility, I've already told them, you will go to South Dakota where we have family and you're out of harm's way. I will be going the other direction. And if I have to give my life so that you have a free country and our values are intact, no matter what color you are, no matter where you came from, that was what our country was founded on. then I will gladly give my life. It's important that people need to understand. Yeah, I'm scared too. I'm scared. I'm frustrated. But I love my country. I love my countrymen. And if I or anybody stops fighting fundamentally for that, then the fear wins. And that means they win. We can't allow them to win. Our founders, we owe it to the founders. My great grandfather was Christopher Gadsden. Yes, he was a slave owner. I think that if he would look at today, he would say, I that was a poor choice. It was a poor choice. But if I don't do my part, then I am dishonoring his legacy. He was a prisoner of war of the British for 8 months. So we have to, legacy means something. And we all need to look to the founders, look to the Constitution. For God's sakes, read the Constitution. Brian knows I read it Facebook Live. I don't know how many people follow that, but people ask me, have you read the Constitution? I'm like, you don't know me very well, do you? But read because it gives you the ammunition required to fight the good fight. They knew what they were doing. They made sure that the provisions for all men created equal under God was there. They weren't talking about all white people. They said all men. So we need to lean on that. We need to quit listening to the people saying we're this and we're that and we're horrible and we're evil, and simply ask, prove it. When we have a debate with someone who says those things, I always say, prove it. Prove to me. No. I don't want to hear your opinion. Prove to me factually. And it gives us the opportunity. And please be decent. Let that group of people continue acting like fools, and the people who don't will rise to the top. It's the cream always rises to the top, and that's what I would tell people. I know you all are scared, but take my word for it. There are going to be brighter days ahead of us. We have to have that faith. We have to, and that would be my message on a personal level.
Well, I'm not so sure that it's, in my case, scared as it is disheartened to what we're headed. And we have to stand up for what we believe in. We just can't stand aside. We have to stand up, not stand aside. Well said. I appreciate your time. This is why I love having Mark Stallins come on with me before we get to Memorial Day each year. And I hope he's going to be a frequent guest and a regular guest with me. And we get some updates from your trips and travels later this summer and over to Hawaii and Pearl Harbor. I love following you on Facebook, both your personal page and the National Honor Tour page as well. Thanks to my guest once again, Mark Stallins of National Honor Tour. I really appreciate your time once again today and your tireless efforts playing taps for all the families and friends for our nation's fallen heroes at Fort Logan and elsewhere across the nation. And good luck to you and your partner, the other horn player from the Army. God bless you both. Thanks for your service to this great nation. We are forever in your debt, sir.
Thank you.
Please don't forget to check out Mark Stallins' National Honor Tour Facebook page and his personal page too, and the website as well. Thanks again, Mark. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, buddy.